Good morning from OR Tambo, folks. This is Chris in Highveld. Welcome back. Another beautiful day here in South Africa. Big developments yesterday in South Africa. Number one. The first one that we're going to talk about here is the Constitutional Court has upheld the Supreme Court of Appeal decision that previously stated that the government of South Africa cannot strip its citizens of their citizenship should they choose to become dual nationals in another country. Now, many of you know my position on dual nationality. I think it's comical. How can you owe fealty to two nations? To me, it's simply destination shopping, and I think it's unfair to the rest of us humans, but that's my personal opinion. I'm not a legal authority, and I don't control who has dual nationality. But the government of South Africa's courts has now determined that stripping people their citizenship because they've moved to Australia or New Zealand, Canada, US, UK, Japan, somewhere like that, and they're living there, and you strip their citizenship from them, that is unconstitutional. The Supreme Court of Appeal had previously said so. Now it's been upheld by the Constitutional Court. So the ruling powers cannot strip you of your citizenship. And this ties into the refugee offer that Donald Trump has made. It is not acceptable in the international community to strip citizens who fled a country for refuge abroad of their citizenship because they fled for their safety. A state that does that is a pariah state. Now, we have no indication that anyone's going to do that in South Africa. I'm just mentioning it because many people have supposition and been complaining that, wow, gosh, they're going to take our citizenship away. Well, they can't do that. And if they do that, they become a pariah state. It's as simple as that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that yesterday, the courts, the North Gauteng High Court in particular, ordered President Ramaphosa to turn over all documents and communications tied to his decision to sign the National Health Insurance Bill into law last year, shortly before the election. It was one of the dumbest own goals in the history of South African politics. The ANC was floating around 45% popularity. They would not have needed a DA for a coalition, but Ramaphosa foolishly signed the National Health Insurance Initiative into law last year, just before the election. And that promptly cost the ANC 5% of the voting electorate. 5% of the people bothered to vote no longer voted for the ANC. They either voted for another party or they didn't vote. So they lost. Well, they mostly voted for other parties. They lost shares, and as a consequence, needed a coalition to get a ruling government. An own goal. So Ramaphosa, we'll see what happens, but a lot of people want to see the documents. I suspect much will be redacted for classification reasons, or many documents or emails may have disappeared. But the president has been held accountable by the courts. The execution of that accountability is the question. Whatever the case is here, two major victories for South African citizens, their rights being protected, and oversight of government action underway. Very encouraging signs here as we head into winter in South Africa. What say you, folks? You agree? Or is this just a nothing burger? You tell me. Cheers.